Hello and welcome to my brand new show, Accumulate. Now on this show, I'm going to be trying to find out the best way to win football accumulators. Is it to know about football and have a rough idea on what you're doing and who's going to win a game? Or is it to approach it with complete luck and randomness and just click some random boxes? The idea for this show has come out of a video you may have seen on my other channel where I tried to figure out the best way to win accumulators by putting myself against my girlfriend who knows nothing about football and was just picking random bets, and a simulation of FIFA 13 where I put the games that were happening that weekend and simulated them. And interestingly, in that first test, my girlfriend got the most results right. So she beat me, who's supposed to know about football, and FIFA, which should also know about football. But one test isn't really enough to make a rule. So the idea of this series is to find out, is that true? Does not knowing about football actually not matter when it comes to winning accumulators? Each episode, I'm going to take on a different person or thing and try and beat them at guessing the football results for that weekend. Now the person or thing I'm up against will usually represent something different to football knowledge. That's what I'm representing. I'm going to be coming at each game with awareness of what's happening in the teams, how their form is, who's injured, whatever. The sort of things that someone normally, when doing a bet, would think about. And then I'll take on something which doesn't worry about any of that stuff and just picks random results, and we'll see who's better. And across the series, I'll keep a league table of both mine and the things I'm up against, winning percentage, if you like, the percentage of games they get right. And by the end of it, we can see which is best. So, without further ado, first episode, let's get it started. This week, I'm going to take on a dice. So, what is a dice? A dice is just a representation of a random number, isn't it? From 1 to 6, okay? So if you look at any game's got a chance of 3 things happening. Home win, draw, away win, okay? So I'm going to take the dice, the 6 numbers on there, I'm going to divide them. Number 1 and 2 will represent a home win. Numbers 3 and 4 will represent a draw. And numbers 5 and 6 will represent an away win, okay? So whereas for each match I'll think about what the best team is, who can probably win, who's won in the former games between the two clubs, etc. The dice will just randomly pick a number, and that number will represent a result. Now, I couldn't actually find a dice in the house, believe it or not, but what I did get is the next best thing is this dice app. Okay, so there's 8 games coming up this weekend. I'm going to make a prediction for each one, and I'll try and make them quick so we can get through them all. So first up is Newcastle at home against Liverpool. Newcastle's form has recently picked up. Liverpool's has dropped off after their great start, so I'm going to go with a draw. Next game is Chelsea versus Cardiff. Now, Cardiff did get a win against Man City, but importantly, that was at home. They've not been as strong away, and Chelsea are usually a good bet at home at Stamford Bridge, and they are at home in this game, so I'm going Chelsea to beat Cardiff. Next match is Everton versus Hull, which is quite a tricky one to pick because Hull have been doing really well, surprisingly well. Everton, though, with Lukaku, have looked really dangerous, and Martinez is doing a decent job so far, I think. I'm going to go with a home win, Everton. Next up is Arsenal versus Norwich. Arsenal, top of the league, on form. Norwich not had as good a start as people would have thought, considering the money they spent in the transfer window. I'm going to go also home win for Arsenal. Now, this next match, Manchester United versus Southampton. Southampton on great form and above Manchester United in the league, to many people's surprise. And for that reason, and I think Moyes is still trying to feel his way around the team, work it out, I'm going with a draw, Man United, Southampton. Swansea versus Sunderland. Now, both teams aren't doing particularly well. Sunderland obviously already changed manager. Swansea, a lot of people tip to do really well. They've got a great squad now, but they're also playing in Europe, so they've struggled a little bit so far. But I think they'll pick it up here and get 3 points. Swansea to win at home. Stoke versus West Brom. Stoke doing really well, but so are West Brom. Both teams have done well. Mark Hughes has changed things at the Britannia. West Brom have done better than many would have expected, but I think I'm going to go with a draw on this one. Stoke, West Brom to be a draw. And finally, my team, West Ham, at home against Manchester City. Now, we did just manage to beat Tottenham away 3-0, which was a shock to my system, let alone non-West Ham fans. Man City have not started maybe as well as they would have hoped, but they're still in with a chance. They're still right up there. They're doing better than Man United, at least. I think I'm going to have to go with a Man City away win. I'd love to say West Ham can get something here, but I think realistically, I'm going to go Man City to win away. Okay, so they are my predictions. Now it's time for the dice to do his predictions. Her predictions? I don't know what a dice is. Has it got genitals? I don't know. Let's let the dice choose now. Okay, so it's time for the dice's predictions. So first thing I have to choose is how many dice I want. Just one. So you go 1. Right, and I've just got to shake the phone to do the guess. And the first match is Newcastle versus Liverpool. So let's see what he thinks. Newcastle versus Liverpool. 1, which means home win. So it's going for Newcastle to win. Remember, 1 to 2 means home win, 3 to 4 means draw, 5 to 6 means away win. Okay, next game is Arsenal-Norwich. So Arsenal-Norwich. 2, it's also gone with home win for Arsenal versus Norwich. Next game, Chelsea-Cardiff. Another 2, another home win. Okay, Everton-Hull. 1, home win. And Man United versus Southampton. 4, which means draw. It's gone with Manchester United, Southampton to draw. Next match is Stoke versus West Brom. 6, it's gone with away win, West Brom to win. And now Swansea versus Sunderland. 3, which is a draw, so it's gone with a draw there. And West Ham, Man City. Come on, West Ham. 4, it's gone with a draw. I'll take that. So they are the Dice's predictions. Straight away, the bookies are already saying that my bets are more likely to come in. I've used my Betfair account, and you can see on my Betfair slip here, they give me odds of, well, £1 bet on the 8 matches accumulator gets me £279. So that's roughly 279 to 1. That's the odds I'm getting. If you look at the Dice's accumulator, also of the same 8 games but different results, they're coming in at £1,462 off of the £1 bet. So odds of 1,462 to 1. So a much less likely bet to come in according to the bookies anyway. I think the reason the Dice's bets have had such bigger odds is that they've gone with 3 draws in there. Draws are often quite good odds, so to have 3 in an accumulator is always going to push it up. If anything's going to trip both mine and the Dice's accumulator up, it might be the Man U Southampton game. We've both gone for a draw there, so if either team win that game, then both our accumulators are lost. But this isn't really about winning the whole accumulator. I think if on this series I actually win a whole accumulator, I'm going to be laughing because they're going to have quite a lot of games in there. It'll probably be good money. More importantly is the percentage of games we get right. And don't forget, guys, leave comments below with your predictions for the same 8 games. Let us know what you think. Do you think my accumulator's best, the 279 to 1 odds? Or do you think that the Dice's one's actually got a better shout with over 1,400 to 1? How it will work going forward is in each new episode, I'll review the last episode's accumulators. So in the next episode, when I'm taking on something else, I will update you guys on how me and the Dice got on and how many we got right. Obviously, if you're watching this after the weekend's games have already happened, you'll know yourself. But because this is the first episode, we don't have an old episode to review. But from now on, each episode will begin with me looking at how I got on last time and then move on to the next challenge. I hope you like the idea for the series. Again, it's brand new, so any feedback is welcome. Leave a comment below, let me know. And let me know your predictions. This is Accumulate. I've been Spencer, and I'll see you on the next episode.